Yes, finally some good news. Ahsoka Season 2 has wrapped and it's coming, what, 2027? What's up guys, welcome to Star Wars Comics, where we might have some disappointing news because according to this article, Ahsoka Season 2 is missing from Disney's updated 2026 slate. So Disney recently released their Q4 earnings call and it was a debacle. It was everything that is wrong right now with Disney and Lucasfilm, and fans are definitely worried that since it didn't appear in their program for 2026, then this might mean Ahsoka will be pushed. We might get into a few details as to why that could be, because there could be some recasts happening and some reshoots. So Games Radar just reported the Star Wars show was notably absent from Disney Plus's updated slate during the company's Q4 earnings call, and fans are worried that this means it'll be delayed to 2027. So we know that back during late October, from Pinewood Studios, the Shinhati actress, it was Rosario Dawson, many of the co-stars just shared that the filming has been wrapped and only post-production remains. It gave us the hope that Ahsoka might be coming at the very least in autumn or winter of 2026. This is really bad. And Lucasfilm, if you seriously delay this to 2027, just for the fans to know, it's gonna be 4 years since Ahsoka Season 1, if this actually releases in 2027. And honestly, if you ask me, this is a complete failure, because Ahsoka Season 1 wasn't the greatest series to begin with, and now we're waiting 4 years in between one season, whereas Andor, for example, came out again, and it was great, Season 1 and Season 2. We want more of Andor. I think I speak mostly for the fans. But if we go back to Ahsoka, I think in my eyes, Hayden Christensen and Luke Skywalker are the only characters and actors that could actually save this series. Ezra Bridger is another one that I'm very interested in him coming back, but this is how Luke Skywalker could actually make a comeback in this universe, a young, powerful Luke Skywalker which could be recast. There is no possibility, no version in which I see Star Wars, in which I see Ahsoka Season 2 not actually addressing the big elephant in the room, and that is the Luke Skywalker recast that has been supported by Mark Hamill himself, who has initially said that he is no longer involved in Star Wars. He will no longer be coming back in any way, shape, or form. His acting days seems like it is over. Perhaps I'm not disqualifying the Joker voice either. I would love him as the Joker too. But either way, Mark Hamill is up there in age, you know. And if Andor Season 2 is any indication, Bail Organa has already been recast. Jimmy Smits is no longer being Bail Organa in the Star Wars universe. Not comparing him to Luke Skywalker, he has a smaller role when it comes to Star Wars in comparison with, of course, Luke Skywalker. But at the end of the day, what we saw in the Book of Boba Fett, what we saw in The Mandalorian, that's not gonna fly in Ahsoka Season 2. Because I think what is going to happen with Ezra Bridger, Harrison Dula, and the New Republic in general is that they're in dire need of Jedi Knights to protect them against Thrawn and against the Dathomirian zombie invasion that they are about to experience. So, of course, it makes no logical sense. It makes no sense whatsoever if they actually play coy and tell us that, yeah, Luke Skywalker is somewhere in the galaxy during these events, but he's not involved. It just doesn't make any freaking sense. Therefore, of course, we have to conclude Luke Skywalker will be in Ahsoka Season 2, but they're keeping it quiet as of now.
Do it.
Since nothing has been officially leaked, since nothing has been officially confirmed about Luke Skywalker, I am pretty much assuming as of right now that in Ahsoka Season 2, Luke Skywalker will have a brief cameo with a recast of Sebastian Stan. Ever since we talked about it a couple of months ago, that Sebastian Stan has the stamp of approval by Mark Hamill himself. They discussed this in detail, where Sebastian Stan's stunt double talked about it actually, how they talked on set, and that how Sebastian Stan revealed it was in contact with Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill said he wants him to replace him as Luke Skywalker for the recast, but that Lucasfilm hasn't gotten involved really. We did an appeal. We talked to Lucasfilm. I'm going to reveal later on what was said in that video, because I really feel passionate about the fact that Luke Skywalker not only needs to be back officially again, we're tired of not having Luke Skywalker content. This is criminal what's happening. I think that the galaxy deserves Luke Skywalker to be back in his true form, in his physical peak, in his force peak. He needs to be in Ahsoka Season 2. And the reason why there are no leaks and nothing has been... This happened similarly in Mandalorian Season 2. There were no leaks. Nothing was said that Luke Skywalker was going to appear at the end of Season 2. But Luke Skywalker did. He did appear, and he crushed it. He was the best of the best. And you saw for the brief second, for a brief moment there, how powerful and how much of a presence Luke Skywalker can actually be in any Star Wars material. He dominates anything he is in, and at the same time, I think that Sebastian Stan would do it justice for sure. He has been busy with Marvel, he has been busy with Thunderbolts, and now presumably with Avengers Doomsday as well. That's why I'm saying that his busy schedule might not indicate that he will have, you know, an extensive role like Hayden Christensen has in Ahsoka Season 2, not filming for 6 months of course, but a brief cameo where Luke Skywalker is confirmed to have joined the fight together with Ezra Bridger. And they are, I made videos about this, I fantasize about Ezra Bridger and Luke Skywalker on Dathomir, and what can they see there, what can they feel there. You have the Darth Maul nostalgia involved there as well. It's fantastical if it actually happens. But you have to admit one thing, that if Luke Skywalker doesn't appear in Ahsoka Season 2 with Thrawn and the galaxy in turmoil, this doesn't make sense. Why is then Luke Skywalker building a new Jedi Order? Why isn't he compelled to protect the galaxy against threats like Thrawn, and especially something that he thought he had already wiped out, which was the Empire. The remnant of the Empire is still there, and Luke Skywalker needs to finish the job once again. Unfortunately, we know about the sequels, we know about the First Order. That's nothing new, but at the end of the day, they are kind of rebooting and restarting slowly with these new material after Episode 6, with Mandalorian, with Ahsoka, and of course Mandalorian Grogu. We haven't talked about that. The movie is coming out. Will Luke Skywalker have a cameo in there as well? Luke already knows Grogu. Luke already knows Din Djarin. So it makes total sense that Luke Skywalker could be in Mandalorian and Grogu 2, at the very least in the post-credit scene. This is why I'm saying that Sebastian Stan, for sure, I am 100% convinced that behind the scenes, similar to how they did with Ewan McGregor didn't talk about it openly, but secretly they had, meetings and talked about him coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sebastian Stan should replace Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. This was confirmed also by Mark Hamill, who said so himself. The video in question that I talked about, his stunt double, here it is right here.
You know how many conversations he and I have had about this? Literally, there was a moment that I'm like, I'm sure you've seen the picture of you as Luke Skywalker. He then told me, he was like, Mark and I have actually talked about this. Like,
that's awesome.
Not anything official on like
That's
Disney's
so cool.
level in Star Wars, but I guess Mark Hamill's been like, he's a fantastic actor. Let him do it. But then Sebastian, being as awesome as he is, he's like, Mark is still doing the job. I don't want to take the job from him and he's still working. You're not going to beat the original. But then his other side to it is like, they're not calling. He's like, I hear it. I'd love to do it. John is drooling because he would love to do it. It would make Anthony Mackie jealous as shit because he loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they're just not calling for it.